The Ravens are heading into one of the most crucial stretches of their season, and the spotlight is once again on John Harbaugh and the decisions he's been making. Especially after the roller coaster that was Thursday Night Football against the Bengals, there has been a lot of chatter around the offensive line and the choices made with Emory Jones, particularly when it comes to rotations with Justin Voorhees. On Monday, Harbaugh shared his thoughts, and there's a lot to unpack. He started by reflecting on Jones' performance. He emphasized that while Jones played with energy, athleticism, and a noticeable level of fight, he also displayed many rookie tendencies, which is expected given his experience, according to Harbaugh. These are the kinds of growing pains that only come from actual game action. You can practice, simulate, and drill, but real improvement begins when a player is out on the field facing live defenses. That was an important note because it frames the way the Ravens are approaching player development, particularly with young talent on a line that has struggled at times this season. Harbaugh acknowledged the ongoing debate around whether Jones could handle snaps at both guard positions. His response was clear: it's possible, but it's not ideal for a rookie to be spread too thin. Focusing on one position allows a player to develop consistency, and in the high-pressure environment of the NFL, that kind of stability is invaluable. This makes sense from a coaching perspective, even if fans see the struggles of Voorhees and Daniel Fowl, and feel changes should be made immediately. It's a balancing act between long-term player growth and immediate performance needs. Harbaugh defended the decisions, pointing out that both Voorhees and Fowl graded well in certain areas despite some inconsistencies. The reality of playing on the offensive line is that the margin for error is slim, and players often excel in one aspect of their game while struggling in another. The Ravens' line has been a perfect example of this volatility. Voorhees has shown promise in pass protection but faltered at run blocking, while Fowl has had some standout games in run blocking but less consistency elsewhere. It's an ongoing puzzle. For the coaching staff, the conversation then shifted to the running backs, which has become another point of contention among fans. Rasheen Ali ended up with more snaps than Derrick Henry or Catton Mitchell in certain situations, and that sparked plenty of discussion. Harbaugh addressed this directly, noting that the numbers we saw weren't what the team ideally wanted. The Ravens are a team that aims to establish a strong running game alongside the passing attack, but game flow, quarter-specific strategies, and 2-minute drills heavily influence snap counts. For example, during the second quarter against the Bengals, Henry barely saw the field because of the timing of possessions and the necessity of having pass-blocking personnel in critical moments. Ali filled a specific role, especially with Justice Hill out, and performed admirably, handling pass protection duties efficiently. Harbaugh made it clear that the team is aware of the situation and is navigating the fine line between strategic decisions and maximizing the talents of players like Henry and Mitchell. Looking at the details, the snap distribution reflected the reality of the game more than a deliberate choice to limit Henry. 2-minute drives and late possessions dictate which backs see the field, and in some scenarios, the Ravens had to prioritize players who could protect the quarterback. Yet, there were moments earlier in games where the run game could have been more heavily emphasized. On one drive in the second quarter, the Ravens had multiple opportunities to establish the ground attack, but passing plays took precedence. Harbaugh explained that to reach their target number of carries, the team would essentially need to run on nearly every first and second down, which is not always practical or strategic. Balancing predictability and versatility in the offense is a constant challenge, especially with a roster that has both high-impact runners and specialized personnel. Despite the critiques, Harbaugh praised Ali for stepping into the role and handling it well, highlighting his contributions in pass protection and situational play. The coaching staff clearly values versatility and wants to develop multiple reliable options in the backfield rather than relying solely on a bell-cow back approach. While fans may question the distribution, the plan seems rooted in both immediate necessity and long-term team construction. It's also important to note that the Ravens have faced injuries and lineup uncertainties, which complicates the picture. As players return and the team adjusts, we may see a shift in how carries are allocated, and hopefully, Henry and Mitchell will have more consistent roles as the season progresses. What stands out from Harbaugh's comments is the emphasis on context and situational football. Snap counts and rotations aren't just numbers, they reflect a strategy that considers matchups, game state, and player readiness. The offensive line rotation, the running back distribution, and even the integration of rookies like Jones. all point to a team trying to balance immediate performance with long-term development. There's a recognition that no one player or unit operates in isolation. Offensive line performance affects the running game, which in turn affects play calling and quarterback decisions. Harbaugh's approach seems methodical, focused on giving players growth opportunities while also managing the realities of an NFL season filled with injuries, tough opponents, and situational pressures. Fans might wish for different decisions in hindsight, and debates over running back snaps or offensive line rotations are natural, especially with high-profile players like Derrick Henry and young talent like Emory Jones. Yet, Harbaugh's perspective reminds us that coaching at this level requires weighing many variables simultaneously. He's clear about what the team wants to achieve and why certain choices are made. Even if they are not immediately popular, the underlying theme is patience and strategic development. He wants Jones to gain confidence and experience at left guard, acknowledges the volatility in line play, and seeks to maximize the contribution of backs within the context of situational football. The Ravens are now entering a critical December stretch, with the upcoming matchup against the Steelers set to have major implications for the AFC North. Every decision, from offensive line rotations to snap counts for running backs, will be scrutinized, and the team's ability to adapt on the fly will be tested. Harbaugh's insights give us a glimpse into the thought process behind the scenes, and it's evident that the coaching staff is trying to balance multiple factors simultaneously: player development, immediate performance, situational strategy, and the realities of injuries and roster limitations as the season progresses. How the Ravens manage these dynamics could be the difference between a strong finish and a disappointing outcome. Harbaugh's focus on growth, situational awareness, and maximizing player potential underscores the complexity of coaching in today's NFL. It's not simply about who is the best on paper or who should theoretically play the most snaps. It's about the right player at the right time in the right situation. Emory Jones' development at left guard, Voorhees' attempts to establish himself, and the ongoing management of backs like Henry, Ali, and Mitchell all feed into a larger picture of a team striving to get back on track after some challenging weeks. Understanding this perspective helps frame the season beyond just wins and losses. It's about building a team capable of adapting and performing under pressure, while also developing the next wave of talent that will sustain the Ravens for years to come. As the Ravens continue their December journey, all eyes will be on how these decisions play out in real time. Will Emory Jones rise to the occasion and solidify his role? Can the backfield find a rhythm that balances Derrick Henry's explosiveness with situational responsibilities for Ali and Mitchell? How the coaching staff manages rotations, snap counts, and in-game adjustments could have ripple effects across the remainder of the season. The challenges are complex, but Harbaugh's approach shows a methodical attempt to address each one thoughtfully, emphasizing the importance of growth, adaptation, and execution under pressure. Ravens fans have every reason to stay engaged because the next few weeks could define not only the playoff picture, but also the trajectory of young players who will shape the team's future. As the Ravens navigate this critical stretch, injuries have once again become a central storyline, and John Harbaugh has been candid about the challenges the team is facing on that front. Several key players are currently sidelined, and the impact of their absence is being felt across the field. Harbaugh emphasized that getting these players back into the lineup is not just about plugging gaps. It's about timing, readiness, and ensuring that they can perform at a high level immediately. When you consider how important continuity is in the NFL, especially with offensive line chemistry and the rhythm of the running game, even a single absence can ripple through every phase of the offense. It's a delicate balance. Rushing players back too quickly can backfire, but waiting too long can hamper momentum and force young or less experienced players into situations they aren't fully prepared for. For example, the offensive line has been one of the most affected areas. Injuries and rotation decisions have combined to create inconsistency, and Harbaugh's strategy reflects an awareness that stability at left guard, right guard, and center is crucial for both the running game and pass protection. While rookies like Emory Jones are being given opportunities to grow, returning veterans could shift the balance significantly, allowing the team to recalibrate and refine both protection schemes and blocking assignments. This is not simply a matter of plugging in a player and moving on. It requires careful consideration of how snaps are distributed, how players adjust to each other's tendencies, and how the team can maintain cohesion in high-pressure situations. Harbaugh has made it clear that he prefers measured, thoughtful reintegration over hasty changes. And that philosophy has shaped how the Ravens are managing injuries across the roster. Moving to the backfield, the discussion around Derrick Henry and his usage continues to generate conversation. Harbaugh has consistently stressed situational awareness as the guiding principle. While Henry is undoubtedly one of the most explosive backs in the league, the Ravens are balancing his workload with strategic considerations, including the number of 2-minute drills, pass protection requirements, and snap counts dictated by game flow. Rasheen Ali's strong performances in the absence of Justice Hill have highlighted the team's depth and versatility. But they also raise questions about how best to allocate opportunities to maximize offensive efficiency. Catton Mitchell, too, has shown promise, particularly as a pass-blocking back, and understanding how to integrate him alongside Henry and Ali as part of a larger puzzle that Harbaugh and his staff are continuously solving. The challenge lies in maintaining offensive rhythm while also preparing for very defensive looks, and Harbaugh's comments underscore the complexity of these decisions. Then there's the ever-polarizing topic of Lamar Jackson. His presence on the field, his health, and his role in the offensive scheme remain a constant point of discussion for fans and analysts alike. Harbaugh has remained measured in his commentary, emphasizing both Jackson's importance to the team and the necessity of keeping him protected, while maximizing his effectiveness. Jackson's ability to read defenses, extend plays, and create explosive moments is unparalleled, but it's also coupled with a strategic need to manage his workload, particularly in high-risk situations where a single hit could have major consequences. The Ravens have crafted their playbook around his unique skill set, blending read-option plays, designed quarterback runs, and traditional drop-back passes to keep defenses off balance. Harbaugh's approach reflects an awareness that Jackson is not just a quarterback, but a central figure in the team's offensive identity, and any adjustments must account for both his strengths and the broader dynamics of the roster. In addition to Jackson, the team has been evaluating other offensive pieces who have dealt with injuries or inconsistent snaps. Players like Mark Andrews and the wide receiver corps have been critical in maintaining balance, and integrating them effectively with the running game and quarterback mobility remains a priority. The Ravens coaching staff is constantly analyzing snap distributions, blocking schemes, and situational packages to ensure that each player is utilized in a way that enhances both immediate performance and long-term development. Harbaugh's commentary suggests a thoughtful, adaptive approach, prioritizing smart decision-making over knee-jerk reactions, even when certain choices invite criticism from fans and media. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support keeps us bringing you the latest news on the Baltimore Ravens, and hey, drop your take in the comments below. We want to hear from the flock. Everything has changed in Baltimore, or so the whispers suggest. A last-minute revelation has fans buzzing across the city and the NFL world alike. Sources close to the team hint at a development so significant that it could catapult the Ravens back into the thick of the playoff race, just when hopes seem to be slipping away, while the front office has stayed tight-lipped. Insiders claim that this is no ordinary shakeup. It's the kind of move that sparks locker room chatter and sends social media into overdrive. Speculation is running wild about what exactly this revelation entails. Some point to a surprise strategy tweak from the coaching staff, while others are convinced it involves a key player's return or a clandestine addition to the roster. Whatever it is, the ripple effect is undeniable. Teammates are reportedly energized, and even the most skeptical fans are daring to imagine a postseason scenario that just weeks ago felt out of reach. Analysts are cautiously weighing the possibilities, debating whether this could truly be the spark the Ravens need or just another fleeting headline. The timing of this revelation only adds fuel to the fire, with the playoff picture still murky. Insiders insist that momentum is now shifting in Baltimore's favor. Rival teams are said to be watching nervously, aware that a single unexpected twist can rewrite the standings in an instant. Locker rooms across the league are buzzing with speculation, and sports talk shows are already dissecting every angle, from potential X-Factor players to game-changing tactical adjustments for the Ravens. The stakes could not be higher. Fans are daring to dream again, hanging onto every update, every cryptic statement, and every glimpse of a practice session that might hint at what's to come. Whether this last-minute revelation is the start of a Cinderella story or just a tantalizing rumor, one thing is clear: the Ravens have thrown a curveball into the playoff conversation, and the NFL world is watching, waiting, and whispering. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay in the loop with exclusive news on our Baltimore Ravens, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. We'd love to hear what the flock thinks. Drop your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next one.